Hello, my Principles of Biomedical Science students. I'm going to post this video walkthrough of our assignment 1.1.7 case report. So I'm using 1A's Google Classroom page as the example page. Obviously, you will be on your own Google Classroom page. So the first thing you want to do is click from stream over to classwork. And for my A-Day classes, this will be in Monday 10/19. For my 1B class, this was in last week, Friday, 10/16. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on the evidence summary and open that up. And it's just a way of sort of organizing all the evidence we have so far about the Ana Garcia case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this so that I can type it out, as always, so you can see it. And we'll work through this together. So you can see we're going to do the piece of evidence, the location, the test, the questions, and the analysis. So the first one is done for us except for the analysis. So statements acquired, we did the polygraph. Now the analysis, for most of us, we thought Eric was suspicious. He may have an alibi. We don't know yet. And some people thought Dominique was suspicious, but there was no evidence linking her to the crime scene. So the fingerprints, the test conducted, if you recall, it was just a fingerprint analysis. Whose fingerprints? Remember, it was Eric's on the note, Ana's on the flask. The hair sample we found at the scene. And remember, we looked at the microscopic analysis of the hair sample. And we concluded that it was Eric's hair on Ana's shirt. Digital evidence, the location of that was on Ana Garcia's phone scene. And remember, we talked about digital forensic analysis. And the timeline, you can look this up. This would be on, if we look, one point 1.3. Remember, we did this together. This is where I'm getting all of this information. So if you want to look it up on your own, you can. And it was, I think, at noon. This is all day before she was found. Noon, she had lunch with Eric. 3 p.m., she was at soccer and got a bruise. And at 9 p.m., she was lab prepping. Again, we've done all of this. You can look it up in 1.1.3. Okay, so the blood testing, that was at the scene. And what we did was called the Kastle-Myers test. Well, we didn't do it, but were all the red substances found at the scene blood? Yes, they were. That's how you put there. Blood typing, the location of that was probably in the lab. Blood agglutination test, I think is the name of that. Gluten. combination test. I can spell, I swear I can. There we go. We found out that the blood was type A and could possibly have belonged to Anna, Eric, or Dominique, who were all type A. The blood spatter, that would have been in the lab. And we did the spatter analysis, or we would have, you know. The spatter indicates the blood fell from approximately, I think it was about 60 to 80 centimeters. Consistent with the height, let me hide this here, of the lab bench she was working at. DNA evidence was done in lab. That would be gel electrophoresis. And the DNA matched Anna's. So that's this is going to be the lab journal entry you turn in, but you will use all of this information to construct a case report you are going to present to the commissioner. So you're going to do as professional a job as you can on your case report. So I'm going to close this out now. If you needed anything else, you can certainly rewind the video and pause me. If we look at, here we go, the case report. This is an outline of what you're going to do. So you have to answer all of these bullet points in some format of your choosing. Remember, it's going to be a professional thing. You're going to present this as if you were presenting it to a boss at a new job. You can choose to present it as a Google Doc, or if you choose to handwrite it, if you prefer handwriting, you can write it on notebook paper and take a picture of it for me. You can do Google Slides. You could do a video report, which is what the website said to do, but I'm adjusting that because, I like to give you options. Make sure your video report is no more than 3 minutes long if you choose that. You can do a poster if you'd like. You'd have to get materials on your own because I don't have access to my classroom and neither do you. Or you can do some other format as long as you talk to me about it first and include all the information below. We still don't know how Anna Garcia died. Our next step will definitely have to be an autopsy, which is one of the things you'll have to put in your report. Okay? So let's go through this. A good thing if you watch the video, you can pause it and rewind it. So her name was Anna Garcia. Her age, if you look this up on 1.1.1, she was 20. Her gender was female. And her occupation, as all of you will probably be in about 3 years, college student. A schedule or timeline of her day. Remember noon, lunch, 3 p.m., soccer, I can spell, and at 9 p.m., lab prepping. So a short description of her activities. Remember that, let's see, what things can we remember? She got a bruise in soccer practice. Friends said she argued with her boyfriend. I'm sure there are other details you can Look back at previous lab journal entries. If you can't find your own in your Google Drive, you can feel free to look at our classwork, and I always put the stuff we do together on there. Okay, so a summary of the scene. Remember, guys, where was she found? In the lab. Description of what the scene looked like. That's harder to do. If I were you, I'm not, but if I were, I'd look at 1.1.1's lab journal. And in your report, in whatever format you choose, I would copy and paste picture from 1.1.1's lab journal. List of the evidence found at the scene. Hey, guess what? We just went through that. So look at the 1.1.7 lab journal. I think I called it evidence summary. That was at the beginning of this video. So the persons of interest. This is where we look at, I'll show you here. Remember we did this, it was the polygraph thing. And it was, let's see, 1.1.3 again. We keep coming back to that, don't we? So we did the hair. And then we looked at fingerprints. Oh, wait. It wasn't 1.1.3, was it? It was probably 1.1.2 then. So look at 1.1.2. Yes, we talked about physiological responses, and we looked at polygraph data. And you have a chart here. It's different for every class. You have a chart here in 1.1.2 lab journal where we recorded whether these people looked like they were truthful or lying. So look at that for right here, a summary of the persons of interest. Tell me if they're trustworthy. If they seem suspicious to you, tell me why they are suspicious. How did you determine their trustworthiness was probably going to be the polygraph data. Okay. So this first bullet point is going to be you talking about who you think is trustworthy and who you think suspicious. And then tell me if you think anybody is suspicious, tell me who they are and why. That's going to be different for everybody. If you disagreed with the polygraph data or if you no longer find someone suspicious, put that there. So a summary of the analysis of the evidence so far. This is really right here what I went through at the beginning of this video. This is going to be 1.1.7. Digital evidence, the hair, the blood, everything for these 3 bullet points is what we did at the beginning of this video. So go back and look at that if you need to. So here we go. Your current explanation. This will be different for everybody. Actually, probably a lot of you will agree by this point that her death appears to be natural, accidental, a homicide, or still undetermined. Tell me what you think her death was. Tell me why. Tell me next steps, okay? Unknowns. We have no idea her medical condition, so we do need to know that. Alibis. I don't know that we have alibis, so that might be something we need to look into. Information we need. We definitely need an autopsy report of some sort and maybe a medical history. Okay? So all of this goes into the format of your choosing. Now you will have the entire block on Monday and Tuesday to work on this if you are an A-Day student. If you are in my block 1B, you had Friday, and you will have this coming up Thursday to work on this. Okay, so work on this and get it done. And if you want to work ahead, I always encourage that. If it makes you feel better, calms your anxiety, go for it. Just remember to check in with me. A-Day students, check in on Monday and Tuesday, and then you can log off from the meet and work independently. B-Day students, please be sure to check in on Thursday. All right, guys, good luck.